Hey there! Thanks for joining us. I'm your host for this episode, Kaileykielle Hoga. This season is awesome. The leaves changing color, carving pumpkins, and who doesn't love scary stories? When I was younger, I used to read shelves of mysteries. Nancy Drew and who were those? Hardy Boys? I used to try and figure out the ending before I got to the last page, and sometimes I actually did. That's what this first episode is all about. Mystery. Welcome to Unhallowed Part 2, everyone. Unhallowed is a Halloween audio play production by Blindspot Collective. Be aware that some of these stories might be disturbing to young audiences. First up, Lake Pontchartrain. So sit back, relax, and see if you can figure out the mysteries in these plays.
Welcome, listeners. This is Katrina Haddid speaking to you live from Lafayette, Louisiana. Tonight, we are interrupting our normal broadcast to bring you an exclusive interview. Sorry to all those 80s hair rock enthusiasts, you'll have to wait until next week. Flip on Station X next Friday at 8 p.m. to tune in to our regular scheduled programming. Tonight, we are called to Louisiana State Penitentiary live to speak to infamous prisoner Jack Sandoval. Some of you may recognize his name from the little-known indie folk band Sourmouth from Savannah, Georgia. Their hit song, In Veins, has risen in popularity since the incident at Lake Pontchartrain and is currently topping the charts in the U.S. and even internationally. Despite 2 out of 3 band members being reported missing and presumed dead, Sourmouth is becoming a sensation all over the country. For those of you unfamiliar with the Lake Pontchartrain mystery, let me fill you in. 1 month ago today, on September 10th, the band Sourmouth was reportedly last seen together alive in Slidell at a petrol station. After a mysterious 911 phone call, which we will play in a minute, cops, paramedics, and the fire department showed up to the banks of Lake Pontchartrain, a couple hours outside of Slidell, to the distressed sight of bass player and backup vocalist Jack Sandoval. He reported his bandmates Nate Harding and Danny Augustine missing, but has since been incarcerated as the lead suspect of the disappearances and is currently waiting for trial. His bail is set at $500,000. Jack claims his innocence and has repeatedly declared that he had nothing to do with the suspected malice against his bandmates. As it stands, it is predicted that when put on trial in a court of law, Jack Sandoval will be found guilty of premeditated murder. We are hoping tonight to get insight from Jack Sandoval about the disappearances and to hear his side of the story. And let me just preface this by saying, the following recording of the 911 call made by Mr. Sandoval may be disturbing to some viewers. And here we go.
911, what's your emergency?
Oh God, they're in there! They're there!
Hello? Sir, what is your emergency?
In the lake! They're in the lake and they're gone! They're dead! They're all dead! It took them, it swallowed them!
Hello? Hello?
Hurry! Please, hurry!
Wow. Haunting. Stay with us now as we dial into Louisiana State Penitentiary to speak with Jack Sandoval. All right, we got him on the line now. Joining us live is Jack Sandoval, Sourmouth band member. Jack?
Hey,
Hello there. How are you feeling this evening? That's okay. Let's just get right into it then. Bring us back to the beginning, Jack. Why were you and your bandmates away from your hometown?
okay, the boys and us, we were on a tour for REP. We started out in our hometown Savannah, booked a few places along the way.
Along the way? You were headed towards New Orleans, is that correct?
That's right.
What number was New Orleans on the stops?
It was our final stop, our tour de force. We booked 2 joints there, both the largest venues we've ever performed. and one opening for the fragments. From then, turn back to home. Maybe spend some money from earnings on the way back.
So money was the driving force?
The driving force? The driving force for what?
So tell us what happened on your way to New Orleans.
It was terrible weather. Stormy, but hot with a broken AC. Felt like hell. We were on our way about 2 hours out. We got off on an exit for some food and gas. A petrol station with a small pub and diner in Slidell. We had 3 rounds of beers. They both had crawfish. Just chicken for me. We got back in the car and headed to the hotel on the lake. The weather was stormy and the streets started flooding. We took a side road up there and that's when,
Is it true that you claim to have heard mysterious sounds along the lake on the way to the hotel?
No. I never heard anything. It was Danny and Nate. We were close to the hotel. Then Danny was yelling that he saw somebody out in the swells. But that's the thing. There were no swells. Just stillness on the water. Nate thought he heard someone crying out for help a minute later. I was driving and rolled up the windows because there was a stench. A horrible stench.
At what time did you arrive at the Ludwell Motel?
A little after midnight. We ran in from the storm. All of our equipment we left in the van and locked up. We checked in. I called first for the shower, and when I got out, they were gone. I was frightened. I heard them talking about the lake. They were just talking about the lake and how they wanted to go out and search after those noises. I was frightened because of that stench. It smelled like... Well, it smelled like dead, rotting bodies. And before you ask me how I know, I had found a body rotting in the fields when I was a kid. I knew they were out there. I didn't know why, but I knew something was wrong. I ran out into the rain, screaming at them to come back. The thunderclaps were loud and close. I ran out to the water, and I saw my friends standing at the bank. But they were facing the shore, staring right at me, waiting for me. I stood there, shouted their names. No movement. And then I swear what I heard was the lake calling out their names, chanting them. My friends turned toward the lake and the water started rising. Danny screamed that he saw a hand rising above the waves. Nate heard cries for help too. I ran over to them and you know what? I saw the hand too. But before I could even move, Nate had been dragged to the sand by some tentacle-looking thing. He was crying out in pain, and there was blood gushing out of him. It had suctions with sharp points, and the points were puncturing him, and he was bleeding out. I reached down and tried pulling him up, but the thing dragged him into the lake. I looked over to Danny, and he was swimming out to the hand sticking up out of the water. As he approached, the hand lifted out of the water, and what followed were hundreds of big black eyes and sets of sharp red teeth. I screamed right then, and I couldn't even run. I was so scared. I was so damn scared. The rain was getting in my eyes, and I couldn't even see what was happening. I heard crunching, the crunching of bones, and I just knew that Danny was being crushed by those red teeth. I heard laughing, and I fell to the ground. I must have hit my head because then I woke up. It was dark and quiet, and I could see the moon. I looked out at the water and it was soft, but I could still smell the rotting bodies. I knew my friends were gone. I ran to our room and called 911.
Why did you run up to the room to call? Why not call from the lobby or tell someone that, which you claim, your friends were in danger?
There was no one in the lobby. I had to go up to the room.
Well, why not use the one at the desk anyway? Why not save time if you desperately needed to save your friends?
You think I killed them, don't you?
Mr. Greenway, the associate that works in the lobby of the Ludwell Hotel, remembers seeing you alone at check-in. Approximately 12:30 a.m., he stated. He says that a request for room service was called in around 1:10 a.m. He claims to have seen you walk back in the hotel around 1:45 a.m. and straight up to your room. He did not see you leave in the first place and has no idea what time you initially left your room after the room service request.
No, that's not right. And he couldn't have seen me because he was never there in the lobby when I ran back in.
Mr. Greenway says that you were not running at all. You were laughing. You were laughing as you ascended those steps from the lobby up to your room. The neighbor to your right, in room 26, called in complaint of the laughter she heard from your room around 3:28 a.m. Shortly thereafter, the laughter ceased. The New Orleans Police Department believes that was around 3:35 a.m. because they then received the 911 call that was made at 3:36 a.m., of which our listeners have just previously heard.
That's not right at all. I blacked out on the beach. I ran up to my room passing an empty lobby on the way. I called from the room right away. I didn't know the time. I wasn't laughing. I wasn't making any noise at all. I was shocked and scared and You don't hear me, do you? My friends went in after some monster. The monster lured my friends into the lake. Why would I lie? There are no bodies, and I've got none to hide.
So you presume your friends are dead, then? And you're right, there are no bodies. Yet. NOPD are searching for them in Lake Pontchartrain, and they're 3.5 weeks at it. They haven't found anything yet, but they will keep searching. Is it true that traces of blood were found on your person and in your hotel room?
It is true because Nate was bleeding all over me. I tried to pull him out. I tried to save him from the monster in the lake. You have to believe me. You all have to believe me. Danny was eaten. His bones will lay forever in that lake. There is a monster at Lake Pontchartrain. Stay away. Stay away from the lake. Stay away. And don't eat the crawfish. Stay away from the lake and don't eat the crawfish. Don't eat the crawfish. Don't eat the crawfish.
We do apologize to our listeners. The call with Jack Sandoval has abruptly ended. We are now accepting callers to voice their opinions on Jack's claims in this exclusive interview you just hit here live on Station X Hit 95.3. You know the number. Before we break, I want to inform you that Jack Sandoval's attorneys are considering an insanity plea at his upcoming trial. There is suspicion that Jack's mental well-being may have led to the unfortunate disappearances and possible deaths of his bandmates, Nate and Danny. There is suspicion from some that Jack Sandoval committed premeditated murder in order to collect his bandmates' funds and quit the band, which he admits put pressure on him and his girlfriend, who recently had a baby. And, oh yeah, have I mentioned that contaminated evidence being tested at the Grub Pull-Off petrol station in Slidell has NOPD suspicious that Jack Sandoval poisoned their crawfish suppers and then dumped his friends' bodies in Lake Pontchartrain? I'll be taking callers now, and we'll be right back after this break.
Remind me to stay away from crawfish for a little while. Up next, Ascendance. This one you might want to turn on a light for.
Do you hear them? Do you hear the drums? They've been playing every night I've been here. I've recorded them and played back the tape, and nothing, goddammit, nothing. Just silence. But they're there, every night. I've been here for 3 days, and I'm struggling to remember why I came. A package arrived at my home one night, a week ago. There was a note and a picture, a young woman, 19 or 20. The picture, it looked like my daughter. It looked like my Katie, just like my Katie. But it wasn't Katie. The young woman in the picture is named Sarah. The note said she's missing, so I looked. It's my job to look. I've looked for so many that I couldn't find. I will find Sarah, I said to myself. I couldn't find Katie, but I will find Sarah. I came to this place 3 days ago, the House of the Divine Ascendance, a massive property in the forests of South Jersey, a cult. The note in the package said Sarah might be here, I said. Every woman here is Sarah, she said, the woman who greeted me, and all the men are Abraham. A little on the nose, I chuckled to myself. The drums won't stop. They come from below. I feel them on the ground. I'm now leaving my room. I need to find the drums. I'm not crazy. I know they're real. I'm walking down the hallway towards the grand staircase that leads to the first floor. The hall is lined with doors. Each one houses 4 or 5 people. They all wear white. They always wear white, don't they? I'm now turning a corner. At the top of the stairs is a silhouette of a woman against a glowing backdrop emanating from the bottom of the stairs. Hi there, just having a little walk.
Dad?
Katie? Katie?
No, Dad. I'm Sarah now.
Katie? I've got to get you out of here.
No, Dad.
What do you mean, no?
Dad, don't you see? I brought you here. The picture, the note, I sent it.
I knew it was you in the picture. I knew it.
Just a little older than you remember.
And your hair is different.
It's longer.
Yeah, longer. It's longer. Wait, why don't you want to come home? I'm so confused, Sonny. The drums. Do you hear the drums?
Yes, I hear them.
You do? Let's go home, baby. Why do you want to be in a house with drums? I've been here 3 days and they're already driving me crazy.
Dad, you've been here for 6 months.
What? No. 3 days. 3 days. Oh, you see, I'm confused. They took my phone, but I know it's 3 days.
Okay, Dad.
No, you stop, goddammit. It's been 3 days. I'm not crazy. Goddammit. Now I'm your father and I'm telling you, we're going home.
Don't you want to know why I brought you here, Dad? Don't you want to see why I'm so happy here? There's so much hope. There's so much love and joy. The love here is boundless as the sea.
The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite. That's my favorite play. You know I took you to see it when you were little.
I know, Dad.
Baby, I can't think straight. Everything feels underwater.
I know. I can make it better.
How?
Follow me to the basement.
Okay.
Now, watch your step. The way down can be tricky.
So you're happy here?
Yes, Dad.
I miss you so much, my baby. My sweet baby girl. My baby.
I missed you too, Dad.
Do you have a boyfriend, a husband, a partner? I don't know, whatever they have here?
No. Here we find joy and peace in awareness.
Awareness? What do you mean? What is that?
Well, right now, you're happy to see me.
Yes, of course.
And before, when I disappeared.
Oh, I was terrified, furious.
Okay. You say you were scared, but you weren't really. You experienced fear. But that which is aware of the fear is not itself fearful.
I don't get it. I don't.
It's okay. You will. We're here. Open the latch on the floor. Do you see it?
There's a light down there. It's pulsing.
Dad, I brought you here for a very special purpose. The others and I are going to ascend today, but we can't do it without you.
No, baby. Let's go home, please.
What's left for you out there, Dad? Mom left you. Your work is one devastated family after another. Where's your joy?
It's in you. Nothing is making sense. The only thing I love in this world is you.
Then descend, so that I may ascend. And when I do, I'll pull you up with me, and we'll live among the stars. We'll see quasars, black holes. Oh, we'll see such sights, Dad. You and me.
What's down there?
You're not one of us. Your heart is stained, but fire destroys and fire cleanses. So go, Dad. Descend.
Thank you for listening to the first episode of 2021's Unhallowed. We are a company that is dedicated to producing radically inclusive content that cultivates and celebrates new work, emerging artists, diverse audiences, and fresh ideas. Lake Pontchartrain was written by Mary Catherine Lopez and stars Nathan Wetter, Jasmin Haddid, and Amanda Blair. Ascendance was written by Carlos Angel Barajas and features Robert Kapeller and Shellina Hefner. A special thanks to our creative team, Nathan Wetter and Shellina Hefner, and our sound designer, Jack Mason Brazzi, for making this project possible. Make sure you come back every Sunday for the rest of the month to hear more Unhallowed Part 2 episodes. If you'd like to learn more about Blindspot Collective and our work, visit blindspotcollective.org or follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Happy Halloween!